Item hashtag SCP-255. Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-255 is to remain inert on 3 laptops stored in standard containment lockers at Site-191. Access to and the modification of SCP-255 is forbidden without the approval of Dr. Yumalo. Addendum Point 255.01. As of October 7, 2020, SCP-255 is no longer allowed to enter an active state. Description: SCP-255 is a browser extension created for the Chrome, Safari, and Firefox internet browsers. Upon connection to Wi-Fi and a successful homepage landing at any URL, a colorful string of pixelated text reading, "Bonba's BAD blocker has got you," will appear and fade away within 7 seconds, followed by the appearance of SCP-255-1 manifesting into the browser window with a celebratory jingle. SCP-255-1 refers to the entity known as Bonba, which takes the form of a pink, stylized animal mascot most closely resembling a cat combined with the features of a cube. When a user visits a web page containing advertisements while SCP-255 is active, SCP-255-1 will begin violently convulsing for as long as the user stays on the page. After a variable amount of time, ranging from 10 seconds to 2 minutes, SCP-255-1 will produce a weapon and use it against all visible ads on the page. Said weapons range from mundane objects such as baseball bats to extremely accurate models of modern military-grade equipment. Once an advert has been targeted, its thumbnail image will be shattered, blanking it out, and clicking the space therein will no longer take the user to the advertised content. 24 hours after an ad has been destroyed, an individual associated with the advertiser will be killed in a violent manner. The victim is not usually the one with who placed the advertisement directly, but rather someone working with the ad agency involved in the hosting of the advert. In extremely rare cases, a replacement target will be selected instead, and be an individual whose person could be considered a part of the brand of the company involved, as if SCP-255 views the victim as being metaphysically aligned with the concept of being advertised to. This statistic increases dramatically if a face is present on the advertisement, or if a person's name is involved with either the advertised/advertisement company. Eyewitnesses have consistently identified victims as being attacked by someone wearing an animal suit, assumed to bear a likeness to SCP-255-1. Currently, there exists no footage of an SCP-255-1 attack, as all electronic surveillance and video monitoring equipment within a 20 m radius of the victim will proceed to malfunction and irreversibly corrupt until SCP-255-1 demanifests. See Addendum Point 255.03. The weapon used in the attack seems to line up exactly with the weapon used to kill, the initial advertising trigger, although there does not seem to be any correlation between the sophistication of the murder weapon and the notoriety of the victim as previously thought upon discovery. There is, however, a correlation between how much the victim would be made to suffer during the attack and their current socioeconomic status. The more wealthy a victim is, the more painful and prolonged their death will be. Currently, the longest an SCP-255-1 attack has lasted is theorized to be around 37 hours, in which the victim was not only slowly exsanguinated with lockpicking tools through their orbital sockets and nasal cavities, but also data expunged. Discovery: SCP-255 was initially discovered on June 12, 2020 in a police raid upon an abandoned warehouse in New Orleans, Louisiana due to complaints of squatters by the owners of the property. POI 92712, aka Jessica Olivier LeBlanc, was found dead at the scene having overdosed on lisdexamfetamine. SCP-255 was currently active and connected to Wi-Fi, courtesy of a nearby library, and it was estimated that data expunged individuals were killed by SCP-255-1 through POI 92712 before she expired. SCP-255's anomalous properties were not known until redacted. A police officer of 10 years took one of the laptops containing SCP-255 home as illegal contraband and began using it regularly. SCP-255 was active for approximately 278 hours until the near-simultaneous deaths of Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos in accordance with SCP-255. One's behavior prompted redacted to commit suicide with his own firearm, his idolization of the deceased mentioned in his suicide note. as SCP-255-1 was also mentioned in said note. Foundation agents embedded within law enforcement seized all laptops containing SCP-255 and launched an investigation into it and POI 92712. Addendum 255.02. Journal entries regarding SCP-255. The following excerpts were recovered from POI 92712's phone diary. Included in this file as to provide context into the reasoning behind SCP-255's construction. Other anomalies are mentioned as well, along with various other POIs associated with GOI 5869 and GOI 004C. Entry number 5, date February 16, 2020. Xenia came by today. I can't believe she flew all the way out here from NYC just to give me pity eyes and some cash. Fuck her whore roommate Zelda. And fuck the both of them for leaving me behind and homeless like some washed-up bitch on the street. Jude wasn't here to take me in. Surprise, surprise. So now I'm left without anywhere to go except some dumb churchy shelter where I have to pray to God at breakfast or else I don't get it. I hope she dies. I hope her stupid fucking roommate dies too. She didn't even do anything except slut around and get paid for it. What an easy life. I totally could have stayed there longer, but no. The landlord will get mad, they said. Just shove me in a closet and forget about it. I don't care. The voices in my head are very loud today. Entry number 6, date February 17, 2020. She said goodbye to me in the chapel today. I don't know how to feel. The preacher said God watches over us through these gray windows. But does he care? He didn't care for me when I nearly drowned at the age of 5, or when my parents died and neither of my Protestant grandmothers wanted to take in a filthy Catholic Cajun. My parents never even brought me to Mass, dumbass, and I don't even speak French like they did. Fuck off. I wish I was burning in hell instead of here. Entry number 9, date February 24, 2020. Tried other shelters in the city. No luck. NOLA isn't as hostile to homeless people as NYC is, with all the empty parking lots and church gardens I'm skinny enough to slip into. But I hate it so bad. I want a bed. I want to play video games again. They had a Nintendo convention here a week ago, and watching everyone play with their games made me die somewhere inside. Thank God for public charging stations. They say weird things to me though, so I can never stay long. Entry number 12, date March 2nd, 2020. Some girl at the library saw me looking at mobile emulators and chatted me up. She was kind of cute, and if I wasn't a total brokey loser, I would have asked her out. But I'm never going to be good enough for that. Anyways, she said she liked Golden Sun and played it as a kid. What a babe. We played it together snuggled up in one of the library's quiet rooms until it had to close, and well, look, I said I was a loser, and I am, but she invited me to her apartment. I couldn't believe it, I really couldn't, so I nearly ran out when she offered to let me sleep on the couch. I cried like a baby taking a shower at her place. I can't stay here forever, but I forgot to write down her name. Yeah, her name is. Entry number 13, date March 3rd, 2020. Amina let me stay the night, but said I had to be out by 4 because her mother was coming. She called her a bitch very quietly, and I told her that I knew what she meant, and she said nobody was capable of that until I kind of snapped at her and told her I understood more than she would ever know. When she heard that, she relented laughing. In embarrassment, I think? I don't know. Whatever the reason, she just said her mom was some kind of fundamentalist who insisted she needed to get married already and cover her hair. That was all she gave me, and then said she didn't want to talk about it anymore. I asked her how she dealt with the anxiety of something like that. She said she uses a machine her friend made to connect to the internet and calm down. I thought she meant a phone, but she was talking about an honest-to-God machine. It was small, with a huge hollow face, but the brass was, I don't know how to describe it. Stupidly enticing is a good word, I think. It looked like a child's toy, but it had great power. It wouldn't stop staring at me and talking to me, whispering to me of a great promise through wires and connected circuits. She let me use it, and it should be noted that as of June 19th, 2023, all attempts to locate the Amina, individual mentioned in these entries, has failed. No such person matching that name has been found on residency records in New Orleans since 2005. Entry number 14, date March 5th, 2020. I stuck around her apartment complex because I couldn't get my mind off that thing. I need to use it again. I need to see her and entwine my hands with hers as we surf a highway of digitized tears. We used it for longer than we should have, because I had to hide in her closet when her mom knocked on the door. I said sorry after she left for losing track of time, but it was such a glorious ride. A glittering flow of headphones to the brain, of fracturing made whole by telephone wires, online video, and the communication between wayward souls on the other sides of LCD screens. I felt something for the first time in years that wasn't, I don't know how to describe it. But the voices in my head all finally sounded like me. They all finally sounded like me as I read wholesome Twitter posts aloud and saw the bounty of e-commerce flow. Hyperspace was at my mercy, digital content pulsating like rainbow snakes streaking through the sky. I cried when I was done. Everything made sense for the first time in my life. I was screaming so loud when I was using it though, because Amina texted me a few hours later to say there were 4 noise complaints filed against her. Entry number 16, date, March 8, 2020. I saw her again at the park today. She tried to run away from me, but I begged her to stay. Everyone was staring at us. Something's gone wrong. I knocked on her door yesterday, but she didn't answer. I know she was there because of the fact I saw her car pull up into the lot, and she looked around as if she was being stalked. I'm not a stalker. I just want to be her friend. I just want to use that thing again and feel okay, talking to a bunch of metallic hands which sing me hymns that I finally feel at peace for. Why does she hate me? I asked her at the park, and she refused to answer. She said I needed to leave, that someone like me couldn't be around her for long. What does that mean? I know the obvious, but I please Amina. I'm sorry for wearing dirty clothes. I'm sorry for not being able to shower as often as you want me to. I'm sorry I can't hold down a job and get weird looks from your neighbors. I didn't mean any of it. I'm just a stupid loser, and you made me feel whole. Your machine connected us. It connected me to something bigger, and I need it. I need it. I need that connection again. I need the voices in my head to belong to me again. Entry number 17, date, March 14th, 2020. I think I'm broken. I think I'm going to hurt myself in some major way soon. I can't make sense of anything anymore, not after losing her. I approached her apartment complex, and she texted me from an unknown number that she would call the police if I showed up again. What am I to do? Was Xenia right about me? To kick me out? Maybe I am crazy. Maybe I really am not worth anyone's time. One nice thing and now it's gone. I'm sorry, Amina. Please come back. Please come back, please come back, please come back. I'm sorry, Xenia, you were right, I'm just a stupid Bayou hick. Entry number 21, date, March 25th, 2020. I couldn't take it anymore. If anyone finds this phone, please stop reading here. I promise that I haven't done anything immoral. I'm just stupid. I'm just stupid, and a junkie now too, because I couldn't apparently get any more stupid than trying some little pills a guy said would help me focus. I figured it would help focus the voices in my brain into something that resembled me. But no. I tried for too long and now it hurts. Amina's apartment was empty when I broke in. She threw away the origami crane I folded for her, along with all the other crafts we made together. I spent so much goddamn time on those. How could you? Regardless, I found the machine and I took it. I took all of the wires it was attached to and all of the other gizmos and shoved them into my backpack. I think there was supposed to be a set of instructions that came with this, because Amina told me something about hooking it up to was it a closed network? She said it had to be safe from interference. What kind of interference? I don't know. I really don't. She said if the wrong electromagnetic waves got into its motherboard, the kinds that are hostile to humans, LOL paranoid much? It would begin flipping out like crazy, but I'm confident I'll figure this fucking thing out. Once again, if you're reading this, don't snitch. I promise I wasn't committing armed robbery, yeah? The following entry number 22, dated March 26th, 2020, was empty except for a link to a local New Orleans news website. The article has been reproduced in its entirety below. Deals as sweet as beignet. Nola Mayor ready to launch major advertisement campaign. By Magni Lalonde. Last Monday, New Orleans Mayor Quenisha Cole announced that the city's local radio station, 102.7 FME, would be airing non-stop, Easter-themed promotionals for local businesses in collaboration with the Superdome, owned by Caesars Entertainment Enterprises, in addition to being sponsored by ExxonMobil. Listeners have been advised to tune in to check out the specials many of these businesses will be putting out, as the exceptionally low prices will be made possible by subsidies provided by both the city and its collaborating partners. Mayor Cole has stated to the press that this event will last for a total of 72 hours and is part of a larger effort on behalf of the NOLA Chamber of Commerce to increase traffic to non-tourism areas and encourage local growth. Following this entry, POI 92712's journal entries became increasingly erratic, displaying formatting not consistent with the capabilities of her phone's model. It is currently unknown if this property was due to POI 92712's long-term use of the machine mentioned in previous entries, or if the object's malfunctioning affected other electronics around it. Entry number 23, date, March 28, 2020. Can't sleep. Can't eat. Pills get stuck in throat. All I can hear is the wails of 5-second advertisements that play over the beautiful music I heard before. Entry number 24, date, April 1st, 2020. They scream about the old days. The dial-up days, angsty but lacking anger. These voices want to kill me for betraying them, for subjecting them to modernity. Stop showing me makeup ads. Stop showing me makeup adsa, that I'll never be able to afford it. I'm never going to be pretty enough to matter to anyone. Entry number 28, date, April 19th, 2020. Can't stop using machine. Hoping wild internet will go away. It hurts. All of it. Pills still hurt and they cost too much. Can't focus without them. My brain melts with the color of lost time. Advertisements killing me as they bleed my wanton heart, infesting my white matter with brands. Will there be anything left of me in the end? Is money all we're good for? Entry number 32, date, May 2nd, 2020. It's all too fucking loud. This noise, this wasted bandwidth. It weaves together and knits my guts dry like a shitty needle. Entry number 35, date, May 12th, 2020. I have to do something. I have to save the world and myself. There's too many voices in my head, and they're all crawling with a NTS inside of my throat every time. World must be purged. Must find way to return machine to form. Entry number 37, date, May 19th, 2020. Blue. Sky take out Pi C mom and nod. And flooding and raining and cracking and bursting. Spill pizza all over dirtying minds and pink laundry. I kiss and cry over and over and over and over again. Amina. Entry number 45, date, June 4th, 2020. AM crafting rule world. Ruler to calm down voiced and keep mind on ground. Cold in library no jacket. Hungry no. Amina's apartment empty. Stole laptops from someone. Will change world. Must kill consumerism and all that they stand for. The boxes, the shoes, the fake pearls. I can't eat any of that. OWAN, where is the freedom the internet once held? Entry number 46, date, June 6th, 2020. I can't. Stomach hurts, JHJHSJHSJSHSHSHSHSJHSJSJ, and heart is racing. No hope bleshtes geojuges. Left for me except this and laptops and stupid cat thing. Blabluhaj JSJJSJJSJOHaj say, don't know if it will work, but I must be quiet again. I can't hear my own life over the information the advertisements steal. None of us can. Nobody will be themselves in a world like this. A world which steals the most basic of humanity. Entry number 48, date, June 8th, 2020. Our minds are being taken over. Psychology used against us turned on humanity for the sins from a few. We are beneath unfeeling algorithms for their arrogance, their avarice, while they are eager to rend us apart at wired seams. Silicon Valley is stopped showing me makeup shish adsa monopolizing. Juan is dead and now only wishes to hurt. Entry number 48, date, June 10th, 2020. Amina, I promise this will make you like me again. I promise the bad people making the machine cry will pay. I know who they are. They will pay for polluting the layman's space on their thrones of control. They will pay for wasting our lives and dirtying our psyches with monetary violence. Addendum point 255.03. On June 28, 2020, footage of an SCP-255-1 attack was finally recovered from a hotel in Shanghai. The video was dated to the day of SCP-255's first recovery by the police, marking POI 92712 as the instigator of this particular incident. The heavily corrupted feed shows POI 012-01 being watched, stalked, and then ambushed by SCP-255-1 with a machete, cutting to static just as SCP-255-1 rushes for the killing blow. It is currently unknown how the altercation ended, and how the incident went unreported by the hotel. POI 012-01 status was not confirmed again until September 12, 2020, after which 3 more attacks occurred during routine testing of SCP-255. These attacks occurred without the viewing of any advertising related to Marshall, Carter, and Dark Limited, suggesting that in the case of a survivor, SCP-255-1 will pursue the victim indefinitely while the program is active until they have been successfully terminated. Due to the obscene net worth of POI 012-01, estimated to be data expunged, and SCP-255-1's proclivities for aggression scaling off of that factor, all testing was ordered ceased by 05-07 because of concerns regarding SCP-255-1's potential to breach the veil and the possibility of civilians being caught in the crossfire. Addendum Point 255.04. Recent investigation into Marshall, Carter, and Dark Limited activity in New Orleans has revealed a connection between them and POI 92712. The advertising campaign described in entry number 22 was a soft power stunt by POI 012-06's holding companies who own the sponsors, with the goal being to flood New Orleans with visitors such that police activity would increase. This was supposed to result in the squashing of pro-green energy protests being held outside of the mayor's hall those very same days for being seen as disruptive to pedestrians. Based on internal memos, it does not seem like this effort was successful. 7 Marshall, Carter, and Dark Limited Shell Corporation agents associated with the endeavor were confirmed victims of SCP-255-1, along with 2 in-house employees who worked as marketers. The protesters succeeded in their goals, which resulted in a domino effect that saw Louisiana decreasing its fossil fuel production by 40% within the next 5 years, along with the state putting massive amounts of money into renewable energy infrastructure. Marshall, Carter, and Dark Limited's failure also led to an overall cleaner cyberspace, with advertisements in New Orleans becoming highly regulated following other pro-consumer legislation passed during this cultural shift. As a result, the city saw a 1,200% increase in Maxwellian cult activity since POI 92712's death, and is now considered a haven for their practitioners from across the world.